You're listening to the Hella Well with Danielle show, a podcast taking women of color on a journey exploring all things wellness and travel related. We're all about showing you how to put on your oxygen mask first and creating lasting self-care habits that will free you to travel the world and live the life you truly desire, and not one you have to fake loving. I'm your host, Danielle Washington. Now let's buckle up and start this journey. Welcome to the Hella Well with Danielle podcast, your weekly mental vacay for the busy woman of color who's on her healing journey and just needs a little bit of assistance so she can heal and thrive. Today we are talking about relaxing. Relax, relax, relax. But reality, what exactly does that mean? Like, do you actually have a definition for relaxing? Because we're told all the time, you must relax. I have to relax. You got to relax. You got to relax, 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 relax. But it's really hard to do when you ain't got a clear definition of what is relaxation. So today I'm talking about what is relaxation, talking about the different states of being stressed versus relaxed, and giving you some guidelines and tips on how you can go about relaxing in a way that may help you a little bit better. But before we get started, I always like to tune in. So I brought out today my bowl, and I'm going to see if this actually works. I'm not sure if this is going to work. But in the meantime, I want you to close your eyes. If you can, if you can't, just listen and just take a couple deep breaths. We're going to do a couple deep breaths in and out, breathing in through our nose, breathing out of our mouth, and just getting to a point where we're here. We're making a point to say to ourselves that I'm committed to this small time in my life to take care of me. I'm committing this time for a mental vacay because I'm worthy. So closing your eyes. Just begin to notice your breath. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling with a sigh. Inhaling deeply again. Sighing it all out. One last time, inhale deeply. Deep, 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 deep. Exhaling it all out. Opening your eyes. And let us begin today's talk. Relax, 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 relax. I'm tired of people telling me to relax. I'm tired of telling myself to relax. When it comes to relaxing, we don't always know what it means. I don't think we have this kind of like, oh yeah, I know what it means. But do you know what it means to relax? Do you know what Webster says it means? Growing up, as a child, when I heard the word relax, relaxing to me meant your hair, getting your hair chemically permed, so your hair was relaxed, relaxing the curls. That's what relax meant to me. From a good portion of my childhood, the word relax meant getting my hair done. Now, yes, relaxing your hair, if you do or you don't, hey, it's a process I did for almost 30 years of my life. That's about releasing tension. So other words for other definitions of relax is, because I looked it up, I love a good dictionary definition. So I looked up the word relax and relaxation. So another one was a state of being free from tension and anxiety. Like when you're relaxing your hair, state of tension and anxiety. I'm not saying your hair is an anxiety. Another one was the action of making a rule or restriction less strict. To become lax, weak, or loose. The lengthening that characterizes inactive muscles, fibers, and other muscles. To obtain equilibrium following the abrupt removal of some influences, such as light, high temperature, or stress. Those, if you look at all those definitions, they kind of go all over the map. And for me, when I started thinking about relaxing as a person of color and a woman who, is doing a lot, who always was taught that, we need to be productive. We were taught you got to work twice as hard to be considered average. And that comes back all the way back into slavery. Because if you didn't work twice as hard, it wasn't like, oh, someone's going to slap my hand. No, you might get killed. You might get sold somewhere else. You might get whooped. So there is in our DNA, we've been taught and trained to work hard to continue being productive and adding productivity, equaling our worth, that some of us have a hard time relaxing. And one of the definitions is to relax means to become lax, become weak. If you feel relaxing makes you weak because you're thinking relaxation is taking away from your productivity, you're seeing this definition, of course you're not going to want to relax. So I offer this to say there's all these different definitions of relaxing. But what does it mean to you is the most important thing. What does relaxation mean to you? Does it mean reading a book? Does it mean kikiing with your best girlfriend? Does it mean having sex with your man or your girl, whoever it is? Does it mean being in nature? Does it mean doing absolutely nothing? Does it mean binge watching TV? Does it mean lounging? Does it mean, going to fly a kite? Whatever it is, figuring out what does it mean to relax is the first step to actually relaxing. Because if you don't have a definition that works for you, that works in your realm, if you're telling yourself to relax means that I'm weak, that means that I'm not productive, that it's a bad thing, then no, you're never going to relax, because who wants to magnify a feeling of negativity? But if you are carrying this, maybe unintentionally, this meaning of relaxation as it being weak, being that you're not good enough, and maybe it's that you're not strong enough, then you may need to revisit what it means to relax so that you can actually relax. You can actually ease the tension in your body. And the best way I like to think about relaxation, I looked at all those definitions. What worked best for me and where I'm working with is a definition I saw that said relaxation is a state of being that involves what's going on in your mind and in your body. And the best way to kind of describe this or to show you this is to look at it from the state of being stressed, a state of being stressed and a state of being relaxed. Because if that's the best way to look at it, because if you were able to compare the two, you can actually be able to see what is the difference between being in a relaxed state and what's the difference between being in a stress state. So what does it feel like to be in a stress state? Let's see. To be in a stress state, your muscles are increasingly tensed. Your muscles are tensing up. That's why you feel pain in your neck and your shoulders. Your body starts hurting. Your nervous system is flipping the AF. It's flipping out. Your increased negative talk, aka your inner critic, your inner mean girl, is chatty as all can be. She is on a roll. And when you are in a state of stress, you're having all these negative thoughts, you're feeling overwhelmed, and it's a snowball into something bigger. It may start really small, but it can snowball into something a lot larger if we're not paying attention to it, on top of the physical aspects of it all. So it's not just, oh, I'm feeling muscle tension, I'm feeling stressed out, whatever, physically. On top of that, your body is going through mental things because the mind and body connect. So when you're stressed out, your mind is having all these negative thoughts, you're ruminating on things, you're comparing yourself, you're feeling shame, you're feeling guilt, and none of it works out for you. It's not a good look. Being stressed, we get in the state, and it is a state that I don't think we can escape. We can minimize it, but I don't think there's a way to escape it all the way. But that being said, so we talked about the state of being relaxed. The state of being stressed out. So what does it look like to be in a relaxed state? It's the exact opposite. To be in a relaxed state, your muscles are releasing tension. Your mind and your body are moving slower, meaning that they're actually working more efficiently because you're having time. There's like not as many messages being sent to your from your brain to your nervous system to your body to say, I need to keep doing, I need to keep doing. It's like, oh, hey, we're chill. It's as if your body, it's as if your brain was smoking weed, the best weed, and it's just in straight chill mode. It means our thoughts are flowing freely. That means we're more optimistic. And it's a state of just feeling like you can breathe because wait, you're breathing slower as well. And that's why I love using breath work. And that's something that I'm really, really focusing in on more so in 2023, because I've noticed there is a connection, not only through my training as a Kundalini yoga teacher, but through just my day-to-day practice. When I slow my breathing down, when I focus in on my breathing, is another reason why I would like to add in breathing in all these podcast episodes, because when you're able to slow your breath down, you're able to control your mind and how it works. You're not as much in a stressed state. So we can choose. Do we really want to be in a stressed state constantly, or do we want to be in a relaxed state? But again, being able to be in a relaxed state, what helps the most is actually knowing, what does it mean to relax for you? And if relaxation for you is doing nothing, ask yourself, what does doing nothing, go deeper, what does doing nothing mean to you? Does doing nothing literally mean sitting here with no TV on, no phone in your hand? Because last week we talked about it. Scrolling on your phone is not the best way to relax. It's actually a counterproductive way to relax. But what does doing nothing to you mean? Is it doing literally physically nothing? Is it watching TV? Is it reading a book? Is it doing something that is not considered productive? For me, I would sit here and I would try to do nothing. I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. It didn't feel comfortable. It felt literally like someone was torturing me. It felt like I'd rather go back to college and do homework than sit here and do absolutely nothing, because my body wasn't comfortable. And it doesn't mean that you can't get to a state of comfortability, but we have to recognize that when we're doing something that feels foreign, our body is sending signals like, this isn't working. What are you doing? Abort, abort, abort. When sometimes we just need to train our body to be like, oh no, you don't have to worry. This isn't a point of being cause for alarm. This isn't some torture session. I'm actually doing this intentionally. But when I first started trying to relax and just doing nothing, that didn't work. So I had to figure out, okay, what works for me? One thing that had worked for me, or that started working for me, and something I've been doing recently, is reading a book. I have been reading for years. Let me rephrase that. I've been reading all my life. I can read. Yes, Danielle can read. But what I'm trying to say is I do read, like casually, but most of my reading often is something that's, personal development, about self-help, healing, to learn about reading about Kundalini, to learn about breath work, to learn about different spiritual aspects. I was reading to grow. I was reading to heal. And that can feel like a second job. That doesn't feel like nothing, because you're doing it for a purpose. You're doing it for a reason. And so the last couple of weeks or last month or so, I literally went to the bookstore because I needed a book right away and couldn't wait for that Amazon delivery. And I bought a book. I bought 2 books. And I bought books that absolutely have nothing to do with learning anything. They are nothing to do about being a better entrepreneur. They were just books that have no value whatsoever, versus it was my version of what it meant for me to do nothing. So how do I relax? How do you relax? By figuring out, what does it mean to do nothing? If that's one of your definitions of relaxation. Letting go of what other people are telling you what it means to relax. Thinking about different things. If your definition is, again, doing nothing, meditation could be nothing. And if it's hard for you to meditate in the form of, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to not have thoughts, that's not what it's all about. If that's what you're trying to do, if your version of meditation means you need to sit there in easy pose with your legs crossed, hands in Gyan Mudra, and chant Om, or just sit there closing your eyes and have no thoughts whatsoever, that's going to be really hard. If that's not your norm, that can feel uncomfortable. And you have to give yourself grace and be able to say, hey, this doesn't feel comfortable. Because the reality of it all, shutting off the mind, is sometimes difficult. So I invite you to look at meditation differently. If you're going to do meditation, if you want to sit there and not have an actual activity to do while you're meditating, let the thoughts come. Instead of beating yourself up like, dang, I was trying to be good. I was trying to do nothing. I was trying to get in that Zen mode and the thoughts kept coming up. If the thoughts keep coming up, acknowledge them and let them blow like the wind. Let them blow by versus feeling like you need to focus in on what the thoughts are and then, or not even focus on the thoughts. If you are having the thoughts and then beating yourself up, you're going on this whole other tangent and getting further away versus saying, hey, had the thought, keep going, focus on my breath. I had another thought, go back to focusing on my breath. Had another thought, focus back on your breath. Focus back on your breath. Every time you have a thought, just go back to your breathing. Because when you are trying to meditate and then beating yourself up, you forget about your breathing. Your heart is racing. You're angry. Your emotions start coming up. You're triggered. And it kind of never feels like relaxation because you've just had a session of beating yourself up. It's a bully session. Your meditation has come into a bully session. But if that type of meditation doesn't work for you, try different other things. Sitting on a couch, on a floor, in your car, just listening to music with your eyes closed, your eyes open. That could be a form of meditation. Just jamming out can be a form of meditation. Meditation doesn't have to be this Zen thing where you have to, wrap your head up, wear all white. It could be whatever you want it to be. It could be a walk. Walking can be a meditation. Counting your foot, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. It could be as easy as saying Satnam, 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 truth is my identity as you walk. Or just walking could be a meditation. There's so many different ways to meditate. I invite you for us to figure out how to relax. It's not about what someone tells you to do. It's about defining it yourself. It's defining what is relaxation. It's defining what is nothing. If meditation is something you want to do, it's defining what is meditation to you and what does it look like for you. And then inviting yourself to take small bites. Take small, tiny bites of whatever you're doing. And what do I mean this? There's a great book about tiny habits. Starting off small, maybe it's just meditating or breathing for 1 minute. Maybe it's 1 minute of just doing absolutely nothing a day. And getting your mind and body in that habit, that small, tiny habit of saying, okay, this is our small, tiny habit. Every day at 12 o'clock, I take a moment to stop and pause. Or every moment at 12 o'clock, I decide to do a small dance break and I listen to my favorite song. It's whatever works for you, but I invite you to start off small. It doesn't have to be, oh my God, I'm going to relax, so I need to book a trip to Mexico and I need to find the resort that has the massage because that's the only way I can relax. No, sis. Start small, build up, allow your body to get comfortable, get cozy, as Beyonce says, get cozy in that relaxed state, get cozy in the mind and the body moving slower, get cozy in the muscles releasing the tension, get cozy in feeling more optimistic and having the inner critic take several seats. Several seats. And lastly, it's about adjusting your expectations. When we put these high expectations that relaxation has to be a certain way, it has to feel a certain way, it needs to be a certain time frame, it makes it a chore. It makes it feel uncomfortable. It makes it feel like you're setting yourself up for failure when you have expectations. My dad always used to say, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Well, if you set yourself with expectations, that's an assumption that you're making with yourself. So don't have expectations, or adjust your expectations. Adjust them a little bit lower. This is something you don't have to be the high-performing, achieving person at. Just see what works. Try different things. Let go of what it's supposed to be. Figure out what it is for you. And do that. Do what works for you. And that's what I got for you this week. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, let me know. Send me a message on Instagram. I'm at HelloWell with Danielle on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter. I'm at HelloWellDanny, but who knows how long Twitter will be around. Even though I just got into it. I just got into Twitter and now it's going away. But anyway, do something. Commit to yourself this week. Especially Christmas and the holidays around the corner. If you're listening to this, live, and if you're not listening to this live, whatever. There's always something going on in our life. There's always moments of stress. There's always some moment of family, something going on, or friends or work or whatever. So commit to yourself this week, saying, this week, I'm going to do something small to relax. I'm going to do something small to get myself in a relaxed state. I'm going to do something to ease the tension in my body and in my mind. Because you're worthy of it. That's all. In case someone didn't tell you, you're worthy of relaxing. Just because you exist. I love you and I'll see you next week. Ciao. Thanks for joining us this week on the Hello Well with Danielle show. Make sure to visit our website, hellowellwithdanielle.com, where you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music and never miss an episode. Also, you can follow us on social media at Hello Well with Danielle on Facebook and Instagram, and Hello Well Danny on Twitter. And if you hella love the show and got some good nuggets out of it, know that I'm not too proud to ask for you to please leave a rating or review on iTunes so that we can continue to expand our reach and help other women of color. Again, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao.